Did you not get a mug?
No,
Really?
no, I don't have one. No. And then
Well, there's a bunch. So.
Someone in this office complains because they don't you don't wash your freaking mugs, dude, and they just sit back there.
That's not true.
It's kind of true.
It's not at all.
I heard it.
I use the same mug every day, and then I dry it out, and I use it again. I don't leave them in the sink.
Calling bullshit.
Bro, fucking write your name on this. Check it every single motherfucking day.
I need a Sharpie.
I need a Sharpie. Liv, can we get a Sharpie?
Have we?
Sad day.
You were weirdly close to that mic.
Hello. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep playing until you.
We started, but we haven't started. I feel like
Liv just erases it. She's like, restart. All right. Yeah, I mean, you could do the intro.
No, that's all you, dude. You just
All
hit the
right,
button.
fine.
No, you gotta hit the music.
Oh, we have to do the music.
Where's the fader for the music? Which one? Is that it?
What's up, guys? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway with Christian Olsen here.
Hello.
We're here from Frank Oliver and Company. You know, you guys, if you haven't already, you can follow us on Instagram, follow us here on SoundCloud, or you can reach us on Facebook, Frank Oliver and Co. Christian, how can they reach you?
Christian the Deadhead on Instagram and the Deadhead Realtor on TikTok.
Love that. Oh, we have a TikTok too. Frank Oliver Co. at Frank Oliver Co. on TikTok. Boom. And if you're not, get on Be Real. Did you guys see my Be Real?
Yeah. You guys need to download that.
Oh my God. So I walked into my guest bathroom, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but somebody had a rough week last week, and I found a note in the wall of the shower, and it just said, "I hurt." And I went, "Oh, I feel bad for you." But then it was my Be Real for the day. So anyway, so today we're going to talk about 6 tips to buy low. And actually, I think there's 8. So we wrote a lot. 8 tips to buy low in today's market.
So much for the 20-minute podcast, right? It's going to be like...
I don't know. We kind of let it run, see what happens.
Yeah,
but before we do that, if you guys haven't already, hey, make sure you sign up for our home buyer event on the 25th. It is June 25th from 11 to 1, right? Awesome. You can find more information on our Instagram at Frank Oliver Co. on our everything, right? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and probably soon to come to our Be Real page, right? Yeah. So make sure you come by. It's a great way to learn kind of the overview of what it takes to buy a home in today's market. Anyway, so last week we talked about, kind of how you can buy low and sell high in today's market. And today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what tips we have, the little things that we can do to kind of help you get into that mindset, if you will. But first, Christian, you want to share with them kind of like what a seller's market is?
Well, the one we've been experiencing is there's not a whole lot of availability. There's just way too many buyers in the market, just supply and demand back from, college economics 101.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, what's happened over the last 2 years, we've seen supply and demand just be completely out of balance. And prices are driven just by a lot of factors. And something that kind of amazed me, I was reading this morning that prices over the last 2 years were 35% higher than they were in 2019. But also in alignment with that was the quantity of transactions was like 34% higher. And so as we consider this market and as we consider making adjustments in kind of our approach to buying and selling in today's market, we have to realize that we're going to have lower numbers than we've had in the past. And even if we lost 15% from last year, we're still 20% higher than an average year. We're still crushing it in this industry. And for anybody that's thinking about selling your home in today's market, it's still a great time to cash out on the equity. Another 30 number, it was something like 37% of all homes in the US did not have a mortgage. And I was like mind blown by that.
Really?
These people that are sitting on equity that they can pay 3 and 4 and 5% for and gain, by tens. I mean, what's the national stock market average? 8% annually. So they're sitting on $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in equity. And today's the opportunity to take that equity out and find a way to utilize it.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So step 1, buying low in today's market. In a hot market like today, you've got to make sure that you're pre-approved. And I wanted to dive into something here today because I'm not even sure that you know the difference.
Okay.
Do you know the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification?
Pre-approval is like a piece of paper that says, "Hey, you can get a mortgage up to this amount," kind of.
Or a PDF, right? But what's a pre-qualification?
I don't know.
All right. So these are things that we like throw around in this industry, and it's crazy that we don't really dive into this a little bit deeper. But a pre-qualification is kind of you put into a calculator, whether it's online or whether you talk with a mortgage lender, you're going to put into a calculator, hey, I make this much money. I want this much of a house. Can I afford it? Pre-qualified. Boom. Check.
So it's like the step before.
Yeah, it's like the step before pre-approval. And we don't talk about it because a real lender is not really doing a pre-qualification. A real lender is taking your credit, your assets, and your kind of financial position to figure out, can you afford a mortgage? And then they approve you for that mortgage. Pre-qualification, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but maybe some of our larger national lenders are pre-qualifying people as compared to pre-approving them.
I would agree.
I would agree. So we talk about the pre-approval is essential in today's market because ultimately when you're going to make an offer to a seller and you're competitive with another buyer, you want to know that you're pre-approved. The seller wants to be able to contact your mortgage loan officer and ask questions like, hey, are they pre-approved? Have you run all 3 credit bureaus? Have you checked their income, their credit, and their assets? Have you really done an analysis on this buyer? Or are you just telling me, meh, we'll see if they can get to closing?
Yeah.
So in competition, a pre-approval is essential, right?
I don't even think I've even dealt with someone that even mentioned pre-qualification, just the market that I started real estate in. I don't know if you've ever come across it.
It's happened behind your back.
Oh, for sure.
I know it has because I know through the lending teams that you've worked with that it's happened behind your back.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's kind of a first step. It's like a bait, if you will, to get somebody to work with you as a loan officer. But it's a great way to kind of increase your competitiveness within the market. It's a great way to put yourself into a position to succeed, right? But that's only step number 1. Step 2, you got to find a great agent, right?
True.
I mean, true. And I actually said it today on our live show that we've had a lot of offers accepted just by submitting an offer to the seller. We're just submitting the offer to the seller, and the seller says, thank you for the cleanly, well-written offer.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of the offers that we've gotten, I can't even begin to tell you the fallacies that have happened in our industry over the last 2 years. But we're getting offers where they're saying, hey, the house is as is. Oh, and we're asking for a home inspection, and we're going to ask for repairs. So which one is it? Is it as is or not? Right? Hey, we're going to offer an appraisal contingency, but we're going to maximum the cash out of pocket to the buyer X. Well, how do you do that? Like, how do you maximize the cash out of pocket to the buyer and then consider appraisal contingency? It's like one or the other.
Yeah.
Right? Or closing cost consideration, but we're going to offer appraisal contingency. Like what?
You know, another thing getting into finding the best real estate agent is just the relationships, whether it be with your mortgage lender, title company, even other agents. For example, Fate Ave, what's the listing agent again?
Matt?
Yeah. Like you just kind of had a good relationship with him, and we talked to him, and it's kind of just.
That's true. Shout out to Matt. By the way,
shout out.
That's a big deal in today's market. Like understanding the listing agent and being able to say, hey, by the way, we're going to make this transaction fun. And I literally say that to agents because I just want to separate myself from the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, our buyer's pre-approved and we're ready to go and we never let anything fall apart. Yeah. Everybody says the same thing. So I started saying, like, we're going to make this process fun. And I mean it because I'm not going to be a pain in the ass. You might be, but I'm not.
It's definitely not me.
It's definitely not me. It's definitely not anybody here. But some listing agents make the process difficult. And so finding the right agent, they understand the market. They understand the pulse of the market and what's going on, the timing for you, how to execute, how to create a relationship. And something that's different about myself, and I hope our team, is that we're not going to push you into the market. So you might not yet be ready to remove the home inspection. You might not yet be ready to remove the appraisal contingency. And so we're going to kind of let you learn a little bit. We're going to educate you slowly along the way within your timeline, setting the expectation for you where you can accomplish your goal. It's not about us, right? So the best relationship with an agent is going to be somebody that's looking out for your best needs. All right, step number 3, Christian, you're up.
Be prepared to pay more in a seller's market. One stat that we actually have here, according to the National Association of Realtors, 29% of homes sold above asking price in 2021. I honestly thought it would have been a little bit higher, if I'm being honest.
29% of homes sold above asking price in 2021.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's not higher?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Overpricing is a big key. It's a big factor. And especially as we come out of what's been happening for the last 2 years, that's the biggest factor. Overpricing your house can kill it right from the beginning. But I think the other issue that we have is that people are seeing, and I described this yesterday in my meeting in New York. Someone said that sellers are greedy. And they just want it. And I said, I think sellers are envious, right? My friend down the street had 17 offers. My house listed at 550 should sell for 555, 565, 570. The real estate agent is saying to them, well, it should be 525, and then it doesn't sell. It's not that they're greedy. It's not that they overprice it because they think that they're overpricing it. It's because they're envious. They're jealous of the other people that they know that have gotten 20, 30, 40 grand over list, and then they price at that higher price thinking that they then will get 20, 30 grand over list. It's crazy. It's also a market-driven stat. So I was in New York yesterday. I had a meeting with a real estate broker, and I was talking with him about current conditions. They don't even pay over list price. Like never.
Really?
Yeah, like never. He said if it's over $1 million, maybe if it's a beautiful home, but if it's under $1 million, it's like probably between 3 and 7% less than asking price. And it's been that way since the beginning of COVID. Like it's never changed.
And you're just not hearing this?
Well, I mean, it takes some time to sit down with somebody and really get an analysis, right?
Sure.
But I
that's
think
crazy to me.
It's fucking nuts. And then you get into a position where we're saying, hey, nationally, it's only 29%. Well, that's because the nation is comprised of lots of different mini markets. I think that it's something that people don't pay attention to, and they don't realize that paying more doesn't necessarily equal winning. There's other ways to make your offer competitive by removing contingencies. We talked about appraisal, a home inspection, HOA, which is totally against the law in Maryland for reference, but we still do whatever we do.
Wait, that was that was the one I wanted to talk about. We'll get there, but
which one?
When you can write down like, hey, we won't give up our right to back out of the contract based off HOA
Well, I mean,
documents.
talk about it now. It's a contingency, right? It's the way to accomplish winning your goal in today's market. So sure.
So upon, I guess, receiving the HOA documents for a property that you want to buy, you still have that ability to review the documents and back out within a certain period of time. And then a good agent, me and Mike have talked about this many of times. Have you actually done it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can, I guess, add an addendum or something saying that my client waives the right to back out based upon receiving the HOA documents, but it's Maryland law, so you could always back out.
Right. So very confusing. So first of all, when you're buying in an HOA community, homeowners association, the homeowners association has, a variety of documents. The bylaws, the governing covenants, any kind of budget or financial things, and they're going to display that to the buyer. We call this the HOA resale package. So when you're buying in an HOA, you get that resale package, and you have the right, after receipt of these documents, to terminate within 5 days, I think, 7. I don't know.
One or the other.
It's 5 or 7, something like that. But basically what we're making sure of here is that the buyer knows what they're getting into, and they don't go to put up a fence in 6 months and then they get told that they can't by the HOA and they go, well, nobody ever told me I couldn't do that when I bought this biggest house that I've ever purchased.
Right.